Hello YouTube, it is your boy B3, back with another kicking movie reaction review. Today's is actually a streaming special, it's only like 55 minutes. Werewolf by Night, a Marvel Studios special presentation. Yes, I honest to God never thought that I would see Werewolf by Night in the MCU, but I'm sure people thought that about like Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man and shit too. But Werewolf by Night, not even superhero. And it had my girl Elsa Bloodstone. It had fucking Man-Thing, my dude Man-Thing, which is just awesome. God, Man-Thing is one of the main things I've wanted in the MCU. So having Man-Thing was great. And you guys know, if you've been following this channel for a while, that I'm a huge fan of the classic monsters. Dracula, Frankenstein, the Mummy, the Creature from the Black Lagoon. You know I'm a Universal Monsters nut. It's probably my favorite film series. Sorry, Godzilla. But I just really loved this whole thing. So it's about this order of monster hunters, and Lord Bloodstone has died, and they are competing to see who will become the leader and wielder of the Bloodstone. And the Bloodstone is, of course, an artifact that helps you fight monsters. It had some morbid humor, which is fine by me. I used to be a mortician. I don't know if you guys know that. I use my thanatology degree at a museum now, however. But yeah, it was, God, it was great. Fuck, I really enjoyed it. It wasn't like a lot of other MCU stuff. You don't have to watch any other MCU stuff to understand it. It can completely stand by itself, which I really liked because I'm super behind on MCU stuff. I just haven't been caring. When it was just movies, it was easy to keep up with, and then the TV shows never really tied into the movies that much, so it didn't really matter. But now we have the streaming shows, which do seem to tie into the overall universe a bit more, and it's just so hard to keep track of it, especially when you're like me and you can't stream anything unless you're at a friend's house or something, because I don't have good internet. I live in the middle of nowhere on a friggin' farm. But yeah, it's really nice to just have a standalone project. Plus, it's not a superhero story, kind of like how Guardians of the Galaxy wasn't a superhero movie. It was like a fun space opera. And this one was good too. It's a lot bloodier than I expected. If you have kids that love the MCU, maybe watch this before showing it to them. Decide, because based on how old your kids are, you might not want them watching this. It's pretty violent. There is a lot of blood. There's some dismembering. But it's got some really good shots. Michael Giacchino directed it. I thought he just did scores. I didn't realize he directed movies. I actually, I didn't know that. I thought he just made the scores, but he made the score for this too. God, it was cool. We had some practical monster makeup, a la Jack Pierce. It starts off in black and white, and the only thing in color is the Bloodstone. I was very happy to see that it was in black and white. I saw a lot of marketing in black and white, but I didn't know if the actual thing itself would be in black and white, because you know, a lot of studios aren't willing to do black and white stuff, but let's face it, Disney and Marvel can do pretty much whatever they want at this point, so I guess black and white was very easy to swing, especially since the Bloodstone was in color. I've seen a lot of black and white stuff, both in comics and on the screen, where like everything's black and white except this one thing that's red. So that wasn't like the most original thing in the world, but I still liked it. Hey, doggy. Dog came to visit. Hey, doggy. And it's just, it was really cool. And you know, when it kind of wraps up in the end, the color fades in, and in that one specific shot, it almost looks like Technicolor, which was very interesting. And then when it's color in the end, we get to see Man-Thing in his full in-color glory. And when I first saw Man-Thing in his appearance when it was black and white, he looked bad. But then in color, he looked good. I think it's just my brain not being used to seeing CGI like that in a black and white environment. I'm used to like all practicals pretty much in black and white almost. So it was just so weird seeing that CG in black and white, and I think it just made my brain short out. Because when I saw him in color, he looked totally fine. No issues. So yeah, I think that was just that. And I haven't heard anyone else complain about that. Probably because they're too busy complaining about the CGI in She-Hulk, because they are just looking for something to complain about in anything that's, about a woman. This is marketed as about a guy, but it does appear to be mostly about Elsa Bloodstone herself, famous Marvel monster hunter. Very cool. If you're hoping for mystery about who the werewolf is, don't hope for it, because the thumbnail for the Werewolf After Night, it just shows the guy with a werewolf shadow. It's pretty obvious who the werewolf is the whole time. Werewolf After Night. Werewolf by Night. Sorry. But I really liked it. I was very satisfied. Really satisfied with the standalone. Really surprised by the gore. And then Marvel movies have the tendency to do this thing where they'll have a serious moment, but every single time there's a serious moment, they'll follow it up with something comedic to kind of just kill any emotional tension that was there originally. And this special doesn't do that as much. It still does it, just not as much as I feel like the movies did, because there were several serious moments that weren't immediately followed up by a joke. But the main example I can think of where one is, big spoiler by the way, when the stepmother is killed by Man-Thing, it's immediately like kind of a jokey scene right after that. And it's like, okay, just negate all the emotion. Whatever. Whatever. But yeah, that's it for Werewolf by Night. Thank you all very much for tuning in. If you want to hear me review the comic book, Werewolf by Night, I actually do have Volume 1 of the complete collection, and at some point I will be reviewing it on the other channel, G&G at B3 Productions. Definitely check that out in the link tree in the description below. So that's it. Thank you all once again for your support. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe. Check out all the cool links down there, including our Patreon and etc. And I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.